Whether you're a politician on Capitol Hill or a college student, the National Security Agency's data collection policies could affect you. President Obama announced reforms to the NSA's phone record surveillance program on Friday. That name may sound daunting, but we broke down what you need to know. First, Congress will create a panel to represent the American public, but it will only be consulted when a new surveillance question arises. The NSA will now have limited access to phone records, and it will need outside permission to access them. In addition, the NSA is limited in tracing conversations. And finally, the NSA has to hand over control of the phone records to a third party.
Senior Nick Elon is a tech whiz. He's an information science major. He repairs computers in his spare time, and like the majority of Americans, he's not a fan of the NSA's policies. According to the Washington Post ABC poll, 68% say the policies violate privacy laws.
I don't like it particularly. I mean, a lot of people are like, I'm not doing anything wrong, so I really don't care. But the matter of the fact is, you are entitled to your privacy.
For Elon, the lack of transparency bothers him. He thinks President Obama's reforms are a step in the right direction, but more of a Band-Aid than a solution.
The third party will help and it'll add a little bit more transparency, but it comes down to the government doesn't want you to know something. You're not going to know about it until you get people like Snowden and stuff that are leaking it.
Edward Snowden is the former CIA employee who began the NSA leaks last year. Olano says he thinks Snowden actually did the country a service by creating a dialogue about security and surveillance issues. But the NSA isn't alone in collecting data. Elon does it every time you log in.
One's use of an Elon computer, right, is exactly what it sounds like. It's not yours. And therefore, your privacy rights and your ability to have private, personal discussions is severely limited.
The Technology Help Desk says it will only access your history if contacted by a government agency. They can search for any illegal activity, like pirating movies, music, or pornography.
I don't think it's exactly fair, I guess, but at the same time, from like the computer background, it's really difficult to manage, 6,000 computers and stuff, and keep the network free and stuff without having, it set up by usernames.
And Levine says students have nothing to worry about as long as they're not doing anything illegal on the Elon network.
The next step in the national debate, the president's advisors have fewer than 60 days to decide how to remove the phone records database from government control.